Hello lovelies, happy new year and welcome to Fanimattz YouTube channel. If you're just stopping by on my channel for the first time, please do well to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. So I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful beaded underbust gathers dress. This video will be divided into three parts. So this is the drafting part. Do well to watch the sewing part and also the beading part when you are done watching this video. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Here are the materials I'll be working with. I'll be using my thread, my zipper. I'll be using this 6 yard of Ankara fabric for this project, and will also lining the lower part with this black lining. Okay, so I'm lining this part because I'll be using hard net. So I'm using 2 yards of hard net for this project. You can use more hard net, the fuller the better. But the 2 yards I used for the hard net is okay for me. You can decide to increase your hard net. I'm using 1.5 yard of Mikado fabric for the upper part of my outfit. I decided to go with the orange pattern on my Ankara. You can use any fabric of your choice for this project. So this is my lining piece. This is a suit lining. I'll be using this suit lining to lining the upper part of my outfit, while I'll be using the black lining to lining the lower part of the Ankara outfit. So, and here is my bead that I'll be working with. This is a crystal bead. So let's move over to the tutorial. So now I'm marking my under bust, my nipple, my waist, and my hip measurement. So my hip measurement is 26 inches. So that's the length for my hip measurement. Please work with your own measurement, because my measurement might be too big or too small for you. So work with your own measurement. Take your measurement and draft with your measurement. So I'm just drawing my horizontal lines. So this is my bust point, my under bust, my waist, and my hip. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 16 inches divided by 2 is 8, and I'm marking my 3 inches standard width neckline. So I dropped my shoulder slant by 1.5 inches for the front, and I'll be marking my armhole measurement like so. In order to get a straight line, I'll mark my shoulder measurement on that point, and I'll connect with a straight line. And you know our armhole is not straight, so I'll divide this measurement into 2, and I'll come in by 0.75, and I'm going to curve like so. So once I'm done curving, I'm going to take my neck width of 3.5 inches, and for the neck depth, I'm using 7.5 inches. But I'll later adjust this neck depth to 8.5 and 4 inches width. I will be doing that off camera. I'm going to adjust the neckline because I want it a bit deeper. So I'll be going down by 0.25. You can do half an inch. This is to tighten the neckline because this is a deep V neckline and you don't want it to gape. So that is why I tightened the shoulder. So I'm inputting my bust circumference measurement, my under bust circumference measurement, my waist circumference measurement, and my hip circumference measurement. All these measurements are divided by 4, and I'm going to connect all the points together. On my center front, I'll be going in by 5.5 inches. You can do 5 inches if you are on the slim side. On my side seam, I'll be marking 4 inches, and on the center front, I'll be marking 3.5 inches. So after doing that, I'm going to connect with a curve. You can use your free hand to curve this, but it's better to use your instrument so that you can get a perfect curve. On my under bust line, I'll be going up by 2.5 inches. You can do 2.5, you can do 3 inches. So it depends, but I use 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to connect this like so using my armhole curve. Please take note, I did not add any dart to this measurement. There's no dart in this pattern. So I'll cut this out. We are done with our front draft. So I'm done cutting out. For the lower part, we are just going to shaping this like so. You can see the measurement we have there. You can just shaping all the way down like so, straight down. So this is what our front pattern looks like. Here I'm just adjusting the front neckline. I want my neckline to be 8.5 inches depth. So I'm adjusting that. While the neck width, I want it at 4 inches. So that's the adjustment I am making on this my front neckline. Please work with what you prefer. So once I'm done doing that, I'm going to divide the shoulder into two. I'll roll a straight line all the way down, and I'm going to slant this open. I'll slash this open. So I didn't slash to the end, just open up a little. So we are going to work on the front part later. So let's move over to the back. I tighten the neckline just the same way we tighten the front. And my front back neckline, I use 2.5 inches for the depth and 4 inches for the neck width. So I'm just marking my measurements. I don't have any underbust for the back, so that's why there's no underbust measurement. So for the back tightening, I did 0.75 for the back tightening. So the back pattern, there will be no dart as well, just like the front, there's no dart on the front. So I'm just shaping that out. So on the waistline, I'm going down by 0.75 on both sides, up and down 0.75, and I'm going to connect like so. This measurement I have for my back is just the front measurement I replicated. So the back is 26 inches long, the front is 26 inches long. So after doing this, I'm going to replicate the same thing we did for the front, go up by 3.5, and I'll connect to the 5.5 inches mark. On the side seam allowance, I will go up by 4 inches and I'll connect as well. So just draw a straight line to meet up with the zipper part. So for this back tightening that I did, you might want to mark your actual back half length before doing this back tightening so that you can get something better, okay? But this waistline here is the waistline I have for the front. So you can mark out the back waistline, then you eliminate by 0.75, okay? It will give you something better than this. So here I'm just cutting out my measurement. And once I'm done cutting, I'm going to close the waist dart that I just connected. So the same way we cut the front, that's the same way I'm cutting the lower part. So don't forget your back tightenings for the zipper allowance. You need to shape that out. So I'm just going to place like so, and then I'm going to tape this down. Once you are done placing it down, make sure you align it with the line correctly, and then you blend any excess you have and you trim out the excess. So this is my back piece. In order to get the accurate length for our dress, the full length of the dress I'm working with is 52 inches. So now I use 26 inches for my hip, shoulder to my hip line. So now I'm going to place my tape on the 26 inches, and I'll bring the tape upward like so to where my curve started from. So you can see I have 22.5 on the curve. So I'm going to count that measurement down to my 52 inches. So whatever I have left is what will be my Ankara length measurement. I hope you understand this. So now I'm going to slash my pattern. I'll place my ruler at the deep V point and I will roll that all the way down. So I'm just eyeballing this measurement. There's no rule to this. Just place your ruler and mark all the way down. So we are going to slash this pattern open completely. So don't forget to mark. I slashed into 4, and this arrow I'm imputing now indicates the upper part of my pattern, so I don't mix it up with the lower part. So just cut this open. So we have 4 patterns for the front, and we also have 4 patterns for the back as well. So for the back pattern, we are going to have four patterns as well. Don't slash the zipper part, just slash only the other pieces, and you keep this aside. Don't mix it up with the front pattern. Keep the back pattern for the back, keep the front pattern for the front. So moving over to our Ankara, this is 6 yards on the table, and I'm going to add 1.5 inches to the measurement that we got. The 1.5 inch measurement I added to it is for the hemming of the lower part and the hemming of the upper part. So I'm just going to cut this now, and I'm going to separate the fabric. I'll be using 3 yards of that for the front. Place your pattern 1/2 an inch away from the starting line and mark down the ends of the pattern. And you measure what you have and you connect it all the way to the end like so. And now you are going to divide your pattern, your fabric into 4. You mark it down. So you can see my chalk mark, and I'm just going to place each patterns on the point, on the mark, like so. So you're going to have 4 chalk mark. So my front pattern, my front fabric is placed on fold, okay? Make sure that the end of each pattern touches the line that we drew on the fabric. So this is the only way you can get an accurate edge for your skirt. Otherwise, your lower part will not align correctly. So make sure that you can see how the pattern is touching the mark on the lower part, how the edge. So now we are going to mark 1/2 an inch all the way like so. For my pattern 2 and 3, you know that there's a deep V at that part. So I'm going to divide this middle part into 2, and I will go up by 1/2 an inch and connect like so. I'll go up by 1/2 an inch on the other point and we connect like so. The 1/2 an inch on the upper part is the joining allowance. So I'm going to connect it like so. You can see. Now we are going to trim out this V part we have on this fabric. You can see the deep V part. We are going to trim out the excess like so. We are going to do the same thing for the back of camera, and don't forget that this outfit is going to have pockets. So the 3 yards that we have left for the back, you are going to slash it into 2, one for the right side and one for the left side, and we are going to gather the waist part. Okay, we'll come over to that later. So now I'm just going to open this my front pattern by 2.5 inches. I'm using 2.5 inches for the opening. Okay, I'm a bit busty, not too busty, but I'm a bit busty. So I'll be using 2.5. You can use 1 inch, you can use 1.5 if you are not so busty. So I'll mark my 1.5 inches for my side seam allowance, and for the lower part, I'll be using 0.5 inch for the armhole. But just watch what I'm going to do with the armhole. You know that this, because of this our slant, we are going to have excess at that armhole part. So you can see the way I connected the shaping that I have there. I only added 0.5 inch for the sleeve joining to the upper part, so that we will not have shortage on that sleeve joining part. You can see. So then you can now connect directly to our pattern paper. Just watch closely, and I hope you understand what I'm doing here. So we are moving over to the second part of the front piece. This is the underbust part. So we are going to connect our 1.5 inches. You can see this deep V part. See the way I marked it. You can see I just mark it straight, and I'll connect my 0.5 inch for my seam allowance all the way to meet that point. I don't want that point to be like a sharp, I don't want it pointed on the fabric. So just take note and watch what I'm doing. The upper part that is pointed as well on my pattern, I will not make it pointed on the fabric. You can see the way I'm doing it. You cut that part straight by 0.5 inch and then you connect. So that's the same way we are going to do the back part, all the back part that has that V point. So that's how we are going to cut it out. So you can see how this looks. I've gone ahead to cut my lining piece off camera, and we are going to be doing a bit of modification on this our lining piece, because we are going to be having lining for the lower part of the Ankara. So that's why I'm ruling a straight line like so, and I will cut this out. I'll do the same thing for my lining back piece. I'll just use my ruler to mark a straight line, and I'll trim out this excess. So this is what we are going to be using for our lining piece. Please do not make the mistake of slashing your main fabric. You can see my main fabric. I didn't cut it out. Okay, and I used stay for my main fabric, and for the underbust part I used stay for the main fabric as well. But the upper bust, I did not use any stay for that part. I left it the same way it is. You can see how all this is looking. So we are done with our front pattern and cutting and drafting pattern. So we are going to move over to the sewing video. I'm going to drop a link of how to sew this perfectly in the comment section, and I'm going to also drop the link of the beading part in the comment section as well. So you can see the way I mark this. You can just split your excess on that part. You can see. So thank you so much guys for watching. I'll see you in the sewing and the beading part. Have a nice day. Bye for now.